the Piston Fanatic. I'm your host, Dave Dalton, and I'm excited to share my passion and perspective of our Detroit Pistons as we go on this fantastic voyage together. I've been a diehard Piston fan since the days of Dave Bing and Bob Lanier. I've also been the varsity basketball coach of a very successful program in northern Michigan. I want to thank each and every one of you for listening. Please subscribe. Our Pistons fought a tough battle tonight. We lost to the Celtics 124 to 118. We were down by 23 in the first half. We gave up 73 points in the first half. We allowed only 51 points in the second half. We led by 112 to 106 with under 5 minutes to go in this game and shut Boston out for 5 minutes straight without giving up a point. And we could not capitalize. We could not score. We ourselves could not score. We had over a 3-minute stretch where we did not score. And it's just, we tried to play a little bit too much one-on-one, and we just missed some shots. So the Celtics couldn't make a shot, and then Drew Holiday, who hadn't made a shot, a 3 all night, makes 2 in a row right at the end. And so that hurt us. But yeah, I've been really positive about JB. I love the way he's coached. I love the way he rotates. But tonight, I'm going to question him. So Tobias Harris played 31 minutes. And Tim Hardaway Jr. played 37 minutes. And they combined 4 for 18 shooting and 1 for 10 on threes. So that is terrible. And Beasley plays 20 minutes. And Fontecchio plays 18 minutes. And they combined 8 for 16 on 2 overall and 8 for 13 on threes. And they play way more minutes. And again, Hardaway does not give you a thing. Tobias, we're going to get into the box score, but Tobias does a lot of things. Tobias had a bunch of rebounds and a bunch of blocks. Hardaway bailed out Tatum on a bad foul at the end. We'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, it was a game we should have won. And I'm not going to not excuse Cade. Cade had some choke plays at the end too. So it just was very disappointing. You know, we wanted to win so bad after Jalen Brown at opening at media day, before the season even starts, in the press conference, Jalen Brown dissed the Pistons and said, oh yeah, we got some teams, not to disrespect the Pistons, but we can just play Peyton Pritchard and Sam Merrill and we can beat the Pistons and give them playing time. Well, what happened, Jalen Brown, tonight? Our Pistons, Sam Merrill and Peyton Pritchard didn't win this game for you, but it was just too bad. We had the game in our hands and we let it slip away. And of course, every one of these, we're 0-3. Every one of these games have been, we were ahead by 8 to the Pacers going to the fourth. We're right in the game against the Cavs with, 4-point game with like 2 minutes left in the third. And our fourth quarters just continue to struggle. And again, it's not, Cade missed 3 free throws, and it's just tough to handle, we see in the game. But I do think that if, JB, play Hardaway. If he's on and he's shooting, but he's playing 37 minutes and Tech's playing 18 minutes and Beasley's on fire and he's playing 20 minutes, you got to make some adjustments there. I mean, you got to play your best players, but he's not been consistent all year. And so he plays 37 minutes, Hardaway, tonight, and he gets 2 rebounds and 2 assists in 37 minutes. He does it, and he can't guard people, and he tries hard, I think, most of the time. But he's 2 for 7 from the floor and 1 for 5 on threes. And we're playing him down the stretch. We had Beasley, who was on fire. He was out of the game until the very end. They kept him out in the fourth quarter and had Hardaway in there playing 37 minutes. I mean, that's too many minutes for an old guy like that to play anyway. And then again, it's perplexing how Harris has struggled mightily. And he just can't buy a bucket. And so, but like I said, he does some other things for us. So, just down the stretch, we had possession. It was 114 to 114. Ivy drives in there. The ball gets knocked loose from him, and then Duren gets the ball, his hands on the ball. Then the ball gets knocked away from Duren. And then a little bit later, Cade comes down. He looks like he's going to have a dunk. And Derek White, who's a phenomenal player, one of the probably leads the league in blocks by guards, and he blocked his shot at the rim. And just everything went wrong, and it just is so frustrating. Beasley made a 3. Towards the end, they cut it within 1, clutch 3, but it just wasn't meant to be. And so it was a tough loss. And like I said, it was so great to stick it in Jalen Brown's face after saying that. That was uncalled for by Jalen Brown. I mean, there's nothing to be gained why he would mention a specific team and saying that, but to say no disrespect to the Pistons, but that's all you did was disrespect the Pistons. So it's tough. We lost to them last year in overtime when they were so good. JB's strategy defensively is to limit threes and shots at the rim. Of course, that's what analytics say, and that's why JB's a good coach. That's what wins and loses in the NBA. And we did a fairly good job most of the time, but like I said, then they hit some threes at the end of the game and then they come down and the score's close. It's tied, and then Tatum shoots an impossible fadeaway. No chance of making it. I mean, he's made it before, but it's a terribly low percentage shot. Hardaway fouls him. He bails him out. He gets 2 free throws. Next time down, Tatum comes down. He shoots up the shot. It hits the rim. Boing, boing, bounces way up, falls in the basket. Lucky bounce. And then it's 118 to 114. And so, then Beasley hit the 3, and then we had a foul and stuff, but Cade missed the free throw, and Cade missed a technical late in the fourth quarter. So that it was tough. But I said it. I do think that you got to play your best players, but Hardaway's never proven throughout the preseason, and now he's had a halfway decent game, but he's been inconsistent and erratic. But when he's having a bad game, and Fontecchio and Beasley are having great games, why is he playing 37 minutes? So that's just a question. So like I said, Harris 31 minutes, 2 for 11, 0 for 5 on threes. He's a good 3-point shooter, 4 for 4. So these guys, we get them. Like I said, we get them because they're 3-point shooters, and Hardaway and Harris combined for 1 for 10, and we barely lose to the Celtics. So it kills you, Durant played a good game, 29 minutes, 7 for 7, and he was 1 for 2 on free throws, which again, his free throw shot is off compared to last year. 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks, 2 turnovers, 2 blocks, and he's challenging for shots. He's a different player this year, and I give him and the coaching staff a lot of credit for that. Ivy had a great game, but then, he tried to make things happen at the end, and he couldn't. He was 10 for 18, 39 minutes, 10 for 18, which is phenomenal. 2 for 5 on threes, which is still 40%. 4 for 5 on free throws, 80%. 5 rebounds, 6 assists, and only 2 turnovers and 26 points. That is a great game, Jaden Ivey. But he still we just try to win it. Guys try to win the game by themselves down the stretch and play one-on-one, and we don't have, sometimes during the game we have better movement and pass the ball a few times. You move the ball side to side, drive and kick, and then get it inside, go outside. But instead we just one guy tries to take on the team, and we just come up short. So Cade, 41 minutes. He tried hard, 9 for 22, and again, he shot one at the buzzer at the end of the game. It counts for a missed shot, because it counts if you make it. But he should have been 9 for 21, but he took some tough shots. 2 for 8 only on threes, so his 3-point shot has been disappointing. Again, that should have been 2 for 7, which is a lot more. That's the thing about 3-point shots. If you take out one or make one more, it makes a big difference. But he was 1 for 3 on free throws, and he's a 87% career free throw shooter. He had 6 rebounds, 10 assists, 4 blocks. So he's been blocking the shots, but 7 turnovers, which is, again, unacceptable when you lose a close game like that. So it's not all on Hardaway and Harris, but Cade has to do better. Beasley, again, 20 minutes only, 5 for 10 from the floor, 5 for 8 on threes, and he hits some tough ones. He's a tough 3-point shot maker. He's not just getting wide open looks, but he can nail them, and he's playing with confidence. But why 20 minutes? 2 for 2 on free throws, 3 rebounds, only 1 turnover, 17 points. Fontecchio, who I like to see play, and I'd like to see him start, but he only played 18 minutes. But he's 3 for 6 and 3 for 5 on threes, so that's 60%. 2 for 2 on free throws, 2 rebounds, 11 points. Stu played tough, 19 minutes, 3 for 3 from the floor, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. He did have 4 fouls, so he's got to cut down the fouling, but he's out there competing. Sometimes he leaves his feet too soon, and he's a real physical player. But Holland didn't play so much, So I talk about this. I know I got a good buddy of mine loves Holland. I love Holland, but he he shot tonight. He shot good. He's 2 for 4 and 1 for 3 on threes. But most of the time, and in the preseason and during the first couple games, he shoots like he plays tough defense, but he shoots like 30% and like 20% or less on threes. And so he's not been a good shooter. He wasn't a good shooter in the G League. And so what he gives you, I want him to play. And I'm proud of the way JB handled it. And JB gave you more minutes the other games, but tonight he should cut his minutes. I think you need to be able to, again, just like I wanted him to adjust Hardaway and Harris's minutes and boost some other guys that were playing well. And so there's sometimes you just don't play Holland as much. But we want to develop him. And with Sarr out, and again, I think we win this game with the Sarr. I mean, we'll never know, but I think he just is a difference maker. He just makes plays. He gets you extra possessions, offensive rebounds, defensive plays, and steals. He just gets you those extra possessions, and in a close game, they make the difference. So, yeah, heartbreaking loss, 0-3. We knew it was going to be tough. I guess it is a positive thing that we played the world champs and had a lead, a 6-point lead with under 5 minutes to go, and we just got to get better. And so we'll see what happens. Again, we had this game that close with the world champs, and we had guys that we expected our veterans to be good, and they weren't, and Cade to be better, and he was okay, but he wasn't as good as he needs to be for us to win. So, but thank you for listening. We go on with the season, and I still think it's going to be a fun and exciting season, and be the reason that somebody feels loved and listened to, and go Pistons.